Israelites or the lost tribe of Shabazz or Moors. We think an identity is something that we find, that it's some conclusive state, you know what I'm saying, of personhood. Bullshit. Everybody's always seeking validation, one way or the other. And another way of saying validation is everything is seeking definition. It's seeking to define itself and find its place in what is going on. Everything is, all the time. So neighborhoods change. Societies change. Communities change. People change. But when we become the powerful energy in it, then it redefines itself according to us. It redefines itself based upon our very energy and our very existence in it. When we think of Jamaica, we think of Bob Marley. Why? This one man now has become the face of this entire landmass? Come on, ain't that a bit much? That one man and his existence there, and he wasn't even organizing anything, really, but his vocal cords. Let's keep it real. But that one man with his energy and his existence there added definition to the whole. And now the ice gold and green flag, the red, gold, and green flag, which really was the flag of Ethiopia during the time of Selassie, has become the flag of Jamaica. That flag has nothing to do with Jamaica politically. You understand the point I'm making? That's not the Jamaican flag. But when you see that flag, people think it has something to do with Jamaica. Why is that? Because of Bob Marley. Ain't that deep? This one man and his centered predominant consciousness made a whole community redefine itself. Whoa. What are we here to do? Long story short, what's our job here? This whole community, out of our centeredness, out of our predominant expression of who we are and what we about, this entire community will redefine itself according to us. That's heavy. How many DVDs did Bob Marley have to really hand out? When he became secure about who he was, what happened? That permeated. He was first singing Negro music, wasn't he? Y'all heard them old Bob Marley songs, The Slave Ship Is Coming, and all these, they sound like, our old Dusties. And they had low fades, didn't they? They had low haircuts with suits on, and they was, wasn't they? I'm not making this up. And wasn't nothing happening. And they were very good musicians. And they were stepping a step, but when he started growing his locks, y'all hear what I'm saying? And got into himself. And he said, they asked him, how long have you been a Rastafarian? He said, since the beginning of the beginning. Y'all hear the point that I'm making? He said, it's I and I. This man had became himself. When he became self-realized, he wasn't, I didn't see him with, he didn't have on 15 gold chains, did he? The man had on some regular blue jeans and a damn t-shirt, man, on the stage. He really couldn't dance, he really couldn't sing. I'm gonna keep it real. People gonna be mad at me because they love Bob Marley. But the man could not sing. Listen to him. But they'll swear he's the best singer in the world because of his personality. But listen to Lauren and listen to Bob Marley. Come on now. Even set Luther Vandross up to Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? Who sings better, really? He was barely hitting them notes. The man couldn't dance. He was just jumping around, bouncing on the stage, throwing his hair. But this was so glorifying. Y'all hear the point that I'm making? This was so, oh my God. But you know what we can say about Bob Marley for sure? He became a self-realized person. And his simple, self-realized self was more powerful than that cool moonshine show that they was doing when it was the Wellers. Did y'all hear what I'm making? And an artist becomes so important and so significant in the world's eye when they become themselves. When you look at Jimi Hendrix. We only remember, even Prince, we only remember and know the ones that stood out because they were so much of themselves and not everybody else. All the other ones are forgotten. It only the ones that stood out so significantly in our consciousness. And you find out that the extraordinary people was more ordinary. Come on. This ordinary person. And that's when he blew up. When they had the suits and was singing, nothing was happening. But when he became his self, he blew up. So my point is, that's the real self-realization that we got to do. We can have all the knowledge in the world, all information. But it's when we become self-realized in what we are doing here, we will become more impactful than all of our strategies. Because when they look out their window over there and look over here, they don't see DVDs. They see people. And what those people are standing on at that time, what their real energy is what's conveyed to those who are in our proximity. And those are the ones who will be realistically impacted by us. Is that right? Those are the ones who will be impacted. And those are the ones that will see daily who we are and what we're on. So that's why we have to move in the energy of truth. Move in the embodiment of divine consciousness of who we are. Move in and as that in every moment. That's more important than where you're going. Everybody's moving somewhere. Very few of us are moving into the moment as ourselves. Do y'all hear the point I'm making? Many of us are trying to get out to somewhere. But we can't even move to the fullness of us right here, man. That's deep. We have not become radical honest nationalists. We have not become radical honest revolutionaries. So we have not even moved into a state of true persona. Is this right? But we're going to move out into the world and change people. If we can move into this moment, we can impact each other in a way where we would send a ripple effect up out of here. Do you hear the point that I'm making? We can send a ripple effect because it's a chain. I meet this brother with sincerity. He meet you with sincerity. He meet the brother with sincerity. He meet the brother with sincerity. He goes out. He carries the energy of the sincere chain here, right? Do y'all follow the point I'm making? So there's an energetic phenomenon happening through even how we're relating to each other here. And that energy that is moving through us here is moving out to them there. So if we half-ass with each other, there's no way we can become sincere with them out there. If we got a half-ass mind with how we're dealing with one another, then we cannot possibly have a solid enough chain, a strong enough connection, right, to impact them out there. Because them out there will eventually be them in here. We are them out there. So that means we got to stand up and become more solid with ourselves here. More integral. Do y'all hear the point I'm making? Here. That's the charisma. That's the enthusiasm. And when you got that here, that's the difference between being in nation building and being the nation building. Y'all hear the point that I'm making? It can only be one person here. When people come here, are they going to see that as a nation? This is a nation right here. Or are they going to come and be like, well, do you live here? I mean, just to be real, let's just look at it in reality. They don't feel the energy of a nation. Because we're in nation building. We're not nation building. But if they feel the energy of a nation with each and every one of us, and we feel that energy of nation building with each and every one of us, then it is a nation being built. Do y'all hear the point I'm making? So it ain't our job just to present nation building to them. It's our job to present nation building to us. And that presentation of nation building to ourselves is more important than the presentation of nation building to them. If somebody come in here and it's a meeting, I'm laid out on the goddamn floor asleep. It's 12 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? The lecture's going. I'm laid out on the floor, laid out. You speaking tonight, brother? Well, that ain't no nation. I'm not there. I'm not here. In that key moment. The people are here, are not coming. They're not coming. They're not the nation. We are than they are. We are the nation. When you go into a hospital, it's a hospital not because those words are written on the building. It's because those people in them roles, ain't they? Every moment, the nurse is there, the doctor comes out, the ladies at the front desk. All of them are playing this. But if you look at it for what it is, it's some niggas with some costumes walking around the building. Am I correct? With some beds. Because a lot of them can't heal nobody. Literally. But it's just some niggas walking around there with some shit on. This is a hospital, and we believe it. And it's a hospital, it's a whole pitiful. A hospital. You know what I'm saying? Spitting on holes. Y'all follow what I'm making? It's a reality. But my point is, we go in there, and the energy that they exude, we say, well, this must be a hospital. These must be doctors. And they didn't doctor. The only thing they have doctored up is the bullshit to get your money. They've doctored up a matrix. But they're not healers. And they won't even tell you they're healers. They'll say, we're doctors. Well, I need to see a healer. I'm not interested in no doctor. Don't doctor me. Heal me. Well, we're just practicing medicine. Well, don't practice on me. You feel what I'm making? But my point is when you go into the facility, it's an energy that they have. If you go into the National Guard, it's an energy that they have. You go into the police station, it's an energy that they have. And when people don't represent the energy of that institution, usually they're fired. Because the institution must what? Maintain the integrity of the image. You know the difference with nation building? People don't get fired. Because the nation building is an absolute certainty and an absolute must. But you know what happens in nation building? It just doesn't grow. Because people just don't have that energy. And you know what? People just don't get what they want. The hospital, it grows. It gets more patients. People don't represent the institution. People get fired. The hospital gets what it wants. Nation building, everybody loses. Black people just don't have another one for another 400 years. You see the difference? So my whole point in saying this is that nation building is that sincere personhood, is that evolved self, is that effective self. And people who want to come here from out of town, we accept a lot of their excuses. But they can be a nation building right there. They can represent the fullness of the integrity of nation building wherever they're at. They don't have to come here for that. And as they come here, it should only be to add energy based upon the integrity that they already have where they're at. Is that right? Or otherwise, there's just an excuse for not being on your square anywhere. and we accept it.